All right, I think it's time to change it up. I think I dialed in the RX10 Ultra enough to just enough to be hopefully dangerous on the archery range. I'm still messing with this tape. I haven't replaced anything on it. I've really just been messing around with this HHA Nitrix Pro. Just trying to figure out, you know, if I'm gonna keep this as my all-arounder or what. I haven't put an actual sight tape on it, but I'm just messing around with the dial and getting it as close to where I can get consistent with my top pin at different various yardages. I think this one I'm gonna go for that 50-yard goat. Let's just see how it lands to give me an idea. The more markers I have that tell me the numbers on this little pre-made sight tape, I can try to really get the sight tape that lines up with this setup the most. Right now I'm still messing with this bow at like 75 pounds. I think it came in that way. I think it's actually a 70-pound bow that, yeah, just has a little extra on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that way or not just yet. But, and you know, bear in mind, I have not tuned this bow at all. I've literally just been messing with it. I haven't paper tuned it. I haven't done anything. I just set it up, lined up everything, made sure everything was square. I had to do a couple of new adjustments on the HHA. I think my bubble was just slightly off. I'm gonna have to remeasure it just to make sure, but I went ahead and had it done and got it nice and level with the bubble aiming downward. And you know, I think that one of the things that I'm gonna try to make sure I do the next time is just kind of play with it, bring it back as far as I can and make sure that my bubble stays fairly level and downrange as I do that. But so far, it's been a lot better. I'm probably hitting way off compared to before. I just didn't run it down. I got it as close as possible, and I just wanted to come out and mess with it. But right now, I think now's the time. Now's the time to start getting it dialed in. Everything on here, adjustment-wise, has been super easy. The thing that I was messing with before is this little knob. It is that whole, you know, tighten it up and loosen it. That thing has definitely broken in. So as you tighten it, because now, you know, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Before when I was doing it, it was kind of hard to get it to tighten up. But now that I've done it a few times, man, it's super tight. If you want it wrenched, that thing ain't going nowhere. Like, I mean, that's the only thing, is if you over tighten it, you have to give it some beans to make it move. It'll move, but you know, you have to be ready for it. Which, if you like that, it's got it. It'll still move, which is nice. Like if you're in a hurry or something and you need to make a quick dial, you can do it, even when it's wrenched down. I can tighten it more, and it's probably not going to move at all. But I like that. I like that there's some variation in it. I'll probably eventually put some paint marking where I like my overall. That way I don't go past it and have it cinched down and I'm trying to do it in a hunting scenario and I'm messing with this thing trying to get after it. But it works. You can tell that there's some good quality in it. And then as you dial it back, it starts getting a little bit looser, a little tighter at the same time. It's nice because you can do just a little bit at a time. And like I said, I'm gonna mess with it more. I'm gonna get this really dialed in to the point where I'm confident with it, that I can say that I'm gonna be using this to hunt with. I think this is probably gonna be my new setup, but I'm still on the fence. It's hard to go from Old Faithful over here, who has been on quite a few hunts already and has done me well this entire time with little to no issues, and just having some of this newer stuff. I haven't tested it enough that I feel like I'm overconfident with it. I'd rather be super overconfident with my equipment, but nothing but good things from HHA, the equipment that I've bought, quiver-wise, all this stuff. My ham ski, this new ham ski, you know, it hasn't been tested as much as my other ones, but I would say that if any of the other ones speak to this, I'd say it's pretty stout. It's going to be a good one. It's going to get its paces even before I start hunting, as I'm doing right now. But I do have some weird flight stuff. I'm going to start messing with it a little bit. I think I was way too far to the right with my sight because of my you know, adjustments, but I had to you know, get it re-squared. Like I said, my little indoor setup is just practically non-existent right now, so I don't have all the stuff. I have it, I just want to set it up differently in my garage, so I'm having to ask for help for a few different things, but a lot of times I just tell them, like, hey, can I just make the adjustment? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. You know, when you're as nerdy as I am, and I hang out with the bow guys at the bow shops and just visit with them, and they're all really good people and hunters, and you know, at this point they probably just recognize me coming through the door. Not everybody's going to know my name because there's turnover and stuff like that, but at the same time, the guys that have been there for 10-15 years, they know who I am as far as going in and shooting bows and having fun, and you know, checking out new equipment and actually bullshitting about stuff like that. You can tell the passionate archers and hunters when you visit with them. They just have a different air about them. So right now, and it's a little hard to tell out to this distance, which I'm taking a risk shooting out this far without testing it probably a little closer like I should have, but I was pretty confident overall with my range. But I am hitting probably really far left now, and that's my only concern. But now that the wind's died down just a hair, I'm going to start really messing with it. See, that one was not good. Oh, well, that's probably why I messed with the dial and didn't put it back. That'll do it. That's the only other thing you really have to worry about with a slider too, is making sure you slide your wheel back. At least it wasn't too bad. I was already aiming up there, so it might be in the wood though. Yeah, that one might be in the wood. There you go. That'll teach me. But let's see. Yeah, that's, I guess, part of taking risks. Yeah, I'm still hitting to the left. But again, I haven't paper tuned this to perfection yet. I've really just been messing with it. I am feeling like my D-loop might be a hair tight. That I'm getting a small amount of knock pinch, and I'm getting that slight variation. So I'll probably retie this, put in some actual knock sets, and make sure it's nice and level and downrange before I really get too in depth. But I just really wanted to start shooting it, get a feel for it. Because like I said, I want to say we measured this out at about 75, and I'm guessing probably at 75 pounds you're going to get a variation over time. Especially, you know, they're good strings, but they are still factory strings, and even my gas strings have a slight variation. I usually start them out at my max at like 80 to 82 pounds. For this new setup, I had to max it out right at 80 pounds. For my hunting bows, I do anything over, it's a 70-pound bow, I usually like it to be at like 72 pounds. And then I just shoot it and shoot it and shoot it. And by the time I get probably about 200 to 300 arrows through it, hopefully that stretch has already kind of happened. I put an easy tie on at the top for my D-loop, and I measure it out. And then I also put one single little strand over this so I don't lose it while I'm still messing with it, because it hasn't been tied in yet. I probably won't tie it in until I'm 100%. But now that I have the sight that I'm wanting to put on this, you know, it's just taking time and getting it really tuned in. You know, I typically do this whenever I buy a new hunting bow, because if you do it one time and you really seriously put in the work, more times than not, you're going to see that it pays off. To just get everything dialed in as much as possible, which you should do every time. And you should always check your equipment, but when you first do it, when you first get it dialed in, you want to check everything and make sure everything fits you, make sure you're confident with it, because that confidence builds up. And I really think that this year, if I get a hunt, doesn't matter where it's at, doesn't matter what animal, I'm going to do my very best, because this equipment probably is not going to let me down. It's going to be the human factor that lets me down. But that's on me, and it always has been. So that's like anybody in any hunting scenario. If they say, oh, my bow and this and whatever, maybe you just honestly had an accident, and that happens. You know, you drop a bow, do something crazy, equipment breaks. But the only other factor in this is that human error. It's all about the work we put into it. But I am getting a decent group down there. But again, I'm not happy with it. I'm going to probably mess with it as much as possible from now until hunts come out, hunts come down. If I don't get those, I'll try to find some, ooh, little lizard, over-the-counter hunts and go that route. It's getting pretty windy out here again. I'm sure you guys could hear the wind. Every noise on my phone has been super loud, or it's been just the wind itself blowing on it. So hopefully these videos can kind of transfer a little bit. But this is my first group after making sure my site was nice and good, and I put it in there, that's for sure. So there's my, rough group without any paper tuning or anything just yet. And that's at 50 yards, and that's after just kind of going through my stuff. Worst case scenario, you hammer an arrow into solid wood up until the fletchings. Yeah, I can't see if, I'm not sure if you can see that, but at 480 grains at 50 yards, there's a wooden board down here. So if you can see it back there, it's kind of hard to see, but that's how far into the fletchings this setup has done it at that 75 pounds on that bow. But maybe it was just a lucky shot, because I'm probably not getting that arrow back. But yeah, I still got some more work to do. I'm still messing with it. I wish it wasn't as windy as it is today. That low shot's my fault. I forgot to dial back in after I was messing with that wheel. I can't even tell you how many times that's happened, sadly. But it's one of those things, you got to check it. You got to check it. But when you make that mistake, take it on the chin and get back after it. These arrows are not cheap, but it at least shows me a little bit of the efficiency and how deep these arrows are going to travel into this wood if I can hit it that solid, which hopefully that translates to hunting. That's really where it matters the most. But yeah, that's just a quick video on the new RX10 Ultra, shooting some different arrows. I'll start paper tuning once I get the arrow that I like, just out of the gate. I'd prefer it to have decent flight before I start really tuning it in. Some people just paper tune right away and get what they want. I'm just looking to change some slight things on the arrow build that I'm used to. And I want to use a 4-fletch, and I'm trying to find what fits me the best in this current setup. And right now at that 75 pounds, I'm a little worried that I'm getting that first initial kinetic energy that might be weakening my spine a little bit more on my arrow. And honestly, I'm getting some wild, sometimes I'll get some weird variations, but I'm also wondering if maybe it's just that particular arrow, the new nocturnal lighted nocks, that kind of stuff. I'm introducing a lot of variables into this scenario, and I'm just trying to really use all the stuff that I want. I really want the nocturnals, or you know, a variation of lighted knock this year. I know it's adding a lot of weight to the back of it, but I've had some really amazing shots in the past, and I didn't have somebody to back me up to see where the placement was on an animal. I feel like that's just another tool that hopefully will help me be able to see it as it travels through the air after the shot, that I don't have to like immediately try to look. So I drop the bow and lose some form, stuff like that. It's one of those things, adding that extra weight to the back has been kind of a pain in my opinion. I wish they made them lighter, or as light as physically possible with how they have it set up. But otherwise I'm going back to just a regular X knock with these Axis arrows. I've shot those plenty of times, but it's nice to have a little confirmation on your arrow flight. I run usually some pretty bright arrows. These were just kind of arrows to change it up. You know, red, white, and blue kind of style stuff, just for outdoor archery. I think my actual hunting arrows are usually super ultra bright. That way I can try to follow the path as well as hopefully find my arrow after it passes through an animal, stuff like that. But I think the lighted knock is going to also be hopefully an addition to that toolbox. But we'll see. I'm still messing with it. So far so good. You know, as you can see, this is not the tightest group in the world, but that's 50 yards in the wind. I'm still toying with some stuff. I want to get it dialed in, but so far the future looks bright, besides my one shot that made it into the wood at the bottom of this target. But again, that's my fault. You know, you got to take responsibility for those bad shots just as much as a few of the good shots. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day.